Hey, welcome to Hairstylist Hotline. It's the late night beauty industry group chat that nobody asked for.
Being fully booked does not always mean being happy. Like, I get it, stability, but no one talks about what that can feel like if it's not aligned with what you want or if it's just done improperly. So, I was fully booked and double booked and making a good living. I could arguably say I also was not at the same time, but needless to say, I was really booked up. Like, I would get inquiries on Instagram. I barely got any on TikTok back then, now I'm thinking about it. Lately, I've been getting a lot more on TikTok, which is so nice to see. Um, but I would have to tell people, yeah, love that you want to come in, but I don't have anything for like a month. And granted, that was nice in one way. Being booked and busy is nice. It's a good problem to have in reality. But another way too, like I said, it was double booked for me. So not only was I booked and busy, it was like a highlight. I would do my highlight, and then while they're processing, I tried to tell the receptionist slash assistants, being like, I don't want to do a highlight and another, and then another highlight, even if it is just like a money piece, like around the face touch up. I really don't want to do that because that'd be really stretch myself then. So I tried to communicate that, and I will granted say maybe I wasn't the best communicator because I was like, what when this happened? 2022. Fuck, how old was I? Well, how old was I in 2020? I was like 25. I bought this house when I was 25, and that was like a while ago now. I want to say I was like 26, 27, maybe 28. No, not 28. Maybe I was just about to turn 28. Granted, now I'm 30. So this was like a few years ago. Um, yeah, I was double booked, really booked up for at least like 2 months out. Like it wasn't a long time, but still, I felt like I had no life basically. I, compared to now, like nowadays, I read, which I notice some people would be like, that's not much. But when your whole life is your career, and granted, I love what I do. Literally, look at this room. The only thing I had to do to make this episode a thing was to really put a bunch of stuff behind me. I owned all this, which is nice in one way. Like the only thing I had to get was the long cord for the microphone so I could have it closer. Like, I love what I do. I love the beauty industry as a whole. This whole glam room for me is because I just love it. I love it all. Heck, a part of me is like, if this were to go to shit, which not to say it is, but not doing the best financially, essentially, I to myself, at least I could do other things in this industry. I could work on social media. I could do like, what else can I think of off the top of my head? Like magazine shoots, even like movies. If I really had to, like I could relocate. Like there's a lot to this job, and it's just I love my clients. I love working in salon. Like if I were to ever get like a magazine like styling job, I think I would still like come back here and take clients. If in a beautiful industry, if in a beautiful world, I mean, I get a job working at like, I don't know if 17 magazine is still a thing, but that's the one I read a lot growing up. So like I'm just picturing myself being like, yeah, if I could ever work for like Vogue or 17 magazine or like other like, oh my god, I don't know if J14 is still a thing, but bro, if it is, sign me up. If they do like model shoots for like their covers, I would love to do that. Because especially to like nowadays, who would that be? I'm trying to think whose hair would I be doing then if I got on like J14? But essentially, like, yeah, being double and fully booked is not fun. I forget how I got into this tangent, but oh yeah, I was saying like I was reading and people would say like reading's like not that fun. But bro, when your whole life is your job, this is where I got cut off. I understand now. My whole life before was house, dog, boyfriend, and job. And granted, I loved all of those things. I mean, I still do. This house is like one of the few things in my life that's like so stable, obviously. Also, because too, I have a renter. I rent out my basement to a student. So, like, nice. Anyways. Anyways, house, yeah, I bought it when I was lucky in 2020, right before the pandemic. Technically a little bit into it. But yeah, I got super lucky. I will admit that. Thanks, Mom and Dad. They helped. I had money too, but they helped me get this. So yeah, reading. I loved reading growing up. I loved Nancy Drew. So if you know any recommendations for that, I also like rom-com like things. Like I would love Emily Henry. I read some Allie Hazelwood. I love her writing. I have a few books lined up, but if you know any good books, I'd love a recommendation. But yeah, like reading is back in my life. Bowling is back in my life. I used to bowl when I was younger, like competitively, and now I do it as like a fun recreational sport now outside of work. And even too, things like this, I think I could actually sustain this once every 2 weeks nowadays versus before. I really couldn't. I mean, I tried when I was, I mean, I really did try when I was double booked and like fully booked, but it didn't really work, as you can tell on my channel here. I mean, granted, I have like a decent numbers and everything, 405 subscribers, and like on average 50 views a video. Thank you so much to those 50 people. Granted, I think like half is me, but still, thank you. But yeah, having no life and just working was really sad. And even too, I don't want to shit on my ex. He was a nice guy, but he took a lot of time away from me. How about that? I'll just say it like that. I feel like too, a lot of us feel like success should feel like exhaustion. Like we should be tired after work. We should be, because bro, we just worked. Why aren't? We should be tired, right? When in reality, I would argue you should not be tired after work. I used to work 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. And a part of me is like, you had the morning, you had to do things, but you had to get ready, you had to get there. Like, granted, yeah, those were the days I went to the gym. But that would be the only thing I would think of doing before work. I never thought of grocery shopping. I never thought of like a workout class. I just thought of going to the gym, doing my thing quickly and well and everything. But yeah, I never thought of taking a class. I never thought of reading. I never thought of doing anything else other than, if anything, going to the gym and then showering and getting ready for work, because I would have to leave here by like 11:15, 11:20ish, like within the hour, but still. I would have to leave then to get to work for 12, and then from 12 to 9 because evening, and I totally get that. Honestly, I do. But I did that like 2 to 3 days in a row. So like, can you blame me for being tired after all that? No, especially too, again, it would take me like half hour to 45 minutes sometimes getting home. And also too, just because you're booked up till 9 does not mean you leave at 9. It means you really leave at like 9:15. And granted too, I also believe strength in numbers. So I would never leave the receptionist or even like the assistant or anything alone. If anything, if there's a lot of people still there, like if someone was staying late, if something happened with them and their client or something, that'd be the only time I would really leave at like 9:05 or like closer to 9, because I did not want to leave the receptionist alone. I did not want to leave the assistant alone, because I was once them. I was once them closing up shop alone, and not to say I hated it, but like, strength in numbers, like I said, like, if anything, God were to happen, nothing ever really did, thank God. But, if something were to have happened, then at least like even though I don't feel like much of an adult, I am one. I could de-escalate situations, even though I needed adults sometimes there, not gonna lie. I remember one time, actually, speaking of like, I need an adult one time. Should I mention the story or should I save it for a future episode? I basically walked, actually this happened twice. At this salon I'm talking about, and then at the other salon I worked at. Yeah, I walked away from a client and then like mouthed help basically to another co-worker. Granted, one time I was to one of my guy friends at the salon, and he's like older than me. So I felt like that time was at least like appropriate because he is more like an adult. Anyways, so we need adults there long term. And I feel like too, when it comes to like things like this, it's like oh, you shouldn't be ungrateful. You should not be saying these things because you should be grateful you had clients and were booked up. I'm not saying I didn't appreciate my clients because even too, some of them I'm still taking care of now, but it's just the fact that I had too much on my plate on that day. I can vividly remember telling you I've done like a balayage, and then while that balayage was processing, I would go and do a root touch up, which a root touch up does not take long at all, honestly. So I would do the balayage, do a root touch up, go back to my balayage, cut and like maybe start blow drying, or like no, like more so wash, tone, and then the root color be ready, and then an assistant would wash out the root color person slash client, whoever I'll call them. And then I would be finishing up on my balayage while they left because that salon I worked at allowed clients to just get their roots done and leave with wet hair. Which in one way I do like because that would fit then people's budgets or even like time constraints. So I can get, in one way I get that. But another way too, I'm like, I would want to see the end result. So like I'm honestly in between the two when it comes to that sense. So yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of in between, like I said. Like I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. So, yeah. And like I said too, I still do a good portion of these clients, just not all of them anymore because I moved from basically the suburban area of my town to now like more like downtowny area. So it's hard to say. But I've kept a good number if you ask me. So I feel happy about that. So yeah, with that, I feel like your career should not be your only personality trait. Like I said earlier, don't get me wrong, I freaking love what I do. If you get me talking, like I have notes here for a reason to keep me on track. Like if anyone lets me, I can talk your ear off. I can really tell people why they should be doing things, or even just like when people are like, oh, like I'm losing hair, then it's like, oh, we actually go through seasons with our hair. Like we will sometimes have like, yeah, a season. Like right now, I feel like I'm in mine because I've been losing so much hair. But also too, I did just make myself a lot blonder on my birthday for my hair appointment then. So like, a part of me is just like, it could just be the fact that yeah, I went a lot blonder this past appointment time, or it could be yeah, I'm in the shedding season, which is a thing. I forget the perfect terms. I might pop them on screen, but there was like a shedding season basically, and then there's a season where you're not. And also too, depends if you're a side sleeper, because I'm a side sleeper and you do lose more hair if you sleep on that side of your head. Like I toss and turn, so like for me it's both sides of my head. But if you're always on like one side of your head, one, it's usually gonna be flatter too. So in terms of styling, you're gonna lose your volume quicker on that side because you're sleeping on it. Secondly, you might lose more hair. Thirdly, that side might get more oily too, because you can imagine if you're sitting on that same side or like, same spot and everything, then your head is always there and it's soaking up the same oils. And even if you're washing your sheets weekly, which you should be, it's still just like the same spot, same everything. So it's going to get dirtier quicker. And even too, I know some people would say they wash their hair every day. You really shouldn't be. But even if you just do it every other day, you might see a difference then. And yeah, I was going with like hair loss with this. Oh, and also too, when we're talking about all that, just get a silk pillowcase while we're here. Silk pillowcases are better, or at least 100% cotton, because then it's like smoother, especially too for skin too. Like the smoother it is, the more you'll just glide on it versus like a rough like thing. So keep that in your head. Talking about, and also too while talking about like being fully booked up and like double booked and everything, I unfortunately was also doing services I didn't really love. Like my favorite things to do in the world is color overall. Even if it's a root touch up, I love it. But my favorite thing in the world to do is like a dimensional brunette. Love that. Or like a very like lived in blonde, like what I have on my hair. Love doing that. But I also too recently I've like loved cutting. Like I would say before I tolerated cutting. Nowadays I love like cutting like low maintenance hair and everything, like basically kind of in the sense like what I have. So like long hair, long layers, face framing layers. Like I have really developed a really like love for cutting, which like, oh my God, I've been doing hair now for like 7, 8 years. If you asked me 8 years ago what I love doing, I would just say color. Again, same thing as like I said earlier, color overall. Cutting, ew. I'd be like, bro, no. So I've gone a long way, but also too, I also do love event styling. I have like a baby shower. It sounds stupid to say out loud, like I'm doing hair for a baby shower, but it's for one of my clients who I like love to death. Ah, Laura, like I know she's gonna probably watch this. Laura, I'm excited for you, and I can't wait to do your hair for your baby shower. Also, you still have to let me know if you want to come here. Like we can be in this room together. If you want to come here, or if I'm gonna come to you. So yeah, let me know that. I I I can maybe say like 80% guarantee that she's gonna watch this. But yeah, so we're either gonna blow her out. Well, if she comes in with wet hair, I'm gonna have to like blow dry her hair. But we're thinking like either a good blowout or like a half up, half down. That's what we were talking about. I mean, we could do a full up if she wants it all off her back of her neck, which honestly, I don't blame people, especially for events like that. Like you're running around, well, maybe not running around, but you're like hosting in a way, even if you're not actually hosting in your house, like she's not. But yeah, I love event styling. It's so fun, especially when it comes to things like this. Like then at her, like when her kid's here, I can then like tell the kid, being like, I did your mom's hair before you were born, and I did your mom's hair for your baby shower, and I just think that's so cute. And even too, like one of my friends, like oh, it's one of my friends I've known before I started doing this job. She's pregnant too, and she doesn't really want a baby shower, which is fair. She doesn't want one. But the same thing, I will be like, my friend's having a boy, so I'm just gonna be here like, bro, I've been here before you. I know what she wants. Like whenever, if he comes to me and it's like, I don't know what to get my mom for like her 40th birthday, because her and I are both like 30. So like in 9 years, yeah, he'll be asking that. And if he asks me that, I'll just be like, I'll take you to HomeSense, we'll get a basket and we'll fill it up with shit she likes. Like, like I'm gonna be a great like aunt for him. Like, bro, I'm excited. Yeah, so essentially, to go back to where I was starting off with all that, I did services I didn't really love. Like, don't get me wrong, some men's cuts I don't mind doing, like, basically certain styles. Like, if you come to me, though, and you're asking for a fade, you should not be asking for a fade from me. It would just not turn out good. I am not a barber, essentially, but I do love a good shag or, like, a good mullet. Like, I had a client named Brody. Oh, love him to death. He stopped coming to me because of like distance. But he messaged me one time and he was so sweet about it. He's also seen like one of my friends, like she did my hair on my birthday. So like, Brody, if you're watching this, you're good, man. I love you. And I miss doing your hair. Like his haircuts were so fun to do. And even too, like, I think the main thing is like the person, because I had many, many, many like men's cuts in my life. Granted, I used to also work at a mall salon. So like I could, if I put myself through it a lot again. But like I think too, it's just like the type of guys I was getting before. Because Brody and I, oh my god, granted too, like we talked about like pop culture, things that was happening online, and like the fact too that he went to Beyonce's tour and then I went to Taylor's tour. Like we had a ton to talk about and it was just a blast. Brody, fucking love you, man. Hope you're doing good. This is me just shouting out people I would love to talk to again. Honestly, if any of you guys want to come on, let me know. Would love to have you on the pod. Although I would have to figure out a microphone setup for that. I mean, we could just share. Like, you can hear me from here, I'm sure. Like, you can hear me from here, I'm sure. So, like, if I had to, I could figure it out for two people. Anyways, this is the first episode. I'm getting I'm getting over my head here a little bit. But yeah, so like I said, I was just kind of doing services I didn't really like doing. Like men's cuts, at least a typical like shorter cut, wasn't my jam. Like I said too, I'm not really a barber, so like the few times I would get some guys and they would want like a skin fade, like I would still I would try because I could not refuse service at that past hair salon. But like I would just say like, oh, next time you should book with the barbers downstairs. Like this place I used to work at, they had like a hair salon upstairs, and then like not upstairs, like on the main ground, and then the basement they had a barber shop. So like I said too, I couldn't really deny service unless like their hair was gonna melt off. Like those cases they understood, but like if it was like you just don't like doing a service, no, you're gonna do it. Like the only thing they asked and actually stuck to was like perms. Like, do you do perms? And I was like, no. Like I never had to do a perm, thank God. I haven't done one since 2014, like since I went to hair school. Maybe technically 2016 because that's when I graduated. But anyways, yeah, so I couldn't really deny service, especially when too. Technically, I can do men's cuts. I just don't really like them for the most part because like the hair gets everywhere. No matter how high the neckline you wear, like even if I wore a like top like this, I would still get hair in my bra and like in everywhere, even in your shoes, and especially too in summer if you wore like open toe shoes, it's terrible. But anyways, so I would just hype up the barbershop downstairs basically. Like I said, it was owned by the same people, so they're still getting money. But I would just be like, yeah, next time you should go with Spencer downstairs. He's really good at this. Like if you think this is good for me, he is much better. Oh my God. So I try to just hype up the guys downstairs. I say guys, but there's one girl too working at the time. I don't know if they're all still there. But anyways, essentially I would just be like, bro, if you think what I'm doing is good, next time go downstairs. They're much better. Like, oh my God. And even too, technically, I think they were cheaper. Like, I don't get it. Because especially too, I was not making my own prices. They told me that's what my prices were. But yeah, so I love color, but I didn't really like men's cuts. And again, like I said too, I don't really do perms. I have not done one since, I forget, it was 2014, 2015, or 2016 when I did perms in hair school. But I had to do one then. And I haven't done one since. So that's the one thing they did really like well on. Like they never gave me a perm, thank God. Ugh. But yeah, so men's cuts, perms. I don't do a lot of fashion colors. Like I used to have pink hair a few times actually. I used to have purple hair, but I'm just not that much. I'm saying I'm not that much of a colorful girly, but look at my freaking room. But it's just like I am more of an. It sounds bad to say out loud, I think, in one way, but also it really shouldn't. I am just more of a natural girly in that sense. Like the only work I'll ever get done on my face, I'm looking here because I have a mirror here. I'm thinking the only thing I would ever do is no matter how much weight I've lost, I never have a defined chin. So like when I do this and I can see how I could look, I'm like, that's the only thing I can really think of. My nose is fine. Everything else is fine. Also too, this is my makeup like after like when I did my makeup like 3 for my bowling dinner. So like this is really good. What time is it, laptop? Yeah, 10:25. Also I'm outing how late this is. But for the vibes, I think it's worth it. Yeah. Well, I think too, with all this being said and done in a way, like being fully booked and being double booked at the same time was a lot essentially. Like being fully booked, if you aren't double booked, I think that's more maintainable because you can then like really see like what your client needs and everything. If the back needs to get rinsed out before the front before the front finishes processing. Like I could not really do that when I was like double booked and like fully booked. So I'm like there's that's the one benefit to like being like one-on-one, like being individual with your clients versus like double booking. And I think too, there's some people who can double book. Like if you only have like root touch-ups, like bro, I get that. Root touch up, finish up the first, finish up the second. You did 2 clients in like 2 hours, I think would be like the time frame. Because like a half hour, if it's like blow dries and I hate generalizing in one way nowadays, but like a lot of people would get like the root touch ups and they'd have like a bob or shorter. So like I know some people, like the past salons I used to work at, would be able to like bang out that in like a half hour, like less than half hour application for like the color, which I could do that too. But like, they've been doing it much longer. They could really bang it out. So yeah, like they would do like the color, do the second color, go outside for a quick smoke break, like some of them would, or just go downstairs or go into the break room, or like go into the break room and then like eat something really, really fast. That's the thing too. Like we never really get a proper break. Like even, sorry, my camera cut me off. But I think that means I hit a half hour, which is what I wanted, but I know I'm going to have to cut out some stuff. So we're going to continue a bit longer. What was I saying? Yeah, so sometimes we don't really get a break. Like with the one-on-ones, like how the salon industry has progressed, it's getting better. But even then, like I said earlier too, if you foil the whole head, foils everywhere, you finish up, you clean up, you come back, your backside could be ready to be done. And I try to be that good stylist too, who does like 5, 10 volume, 10 volume, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. And then like, I'll do like a 20 and 30 mixed together for like that last little bit I need to make up for like the sides or the top, depending on what I finished last with. Like, I try to like pace it out. So like, hopefully maybe I could take it all out at once after like 20 minutes after I'm done the rest. Or like a half hour. But I half the time nowadays have to rinse out the back before the front. And if it's a partial, then that's different because that doesn't take as long. But I'm gonna argue one-on-one is more the way now. Like I had an interview at one hair salon one time and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be double booked, but we will be doing it smartly, which makes sense in one way. But even then I was just like, okay, if you're gonna do that, it's not for me. I feel like too, with that new wave of like hairstyles too, like when I came up 7 years ago, it was still the industry of, you want my formula? No, figure it out on your own. Like it was ruthless before. I'm so happy it's so much more like friendly and like girls and stuff like that. Like I am so thankful it's changed so much because I did not like the way before it was. Like, granted, when I was first starting out, it was like that. Like, you want to know how I do things? Pay to figure it out. Versus now, like, yeah, there's still classes, obviously. But, like, if you work in that hair salon and someone went, or, like, if you hosted it, not to say you had to pay for it, but, like, if you ask the stylist who went to that class, half the time nowadays, they'll be like, oh, yeah, let me show you. Or like they're just doing their thing and then you come up and you watch and you're like, well, that's cool, I didn't think of that. Then they'll be like, yeah, I saw it at the class I just took. Like it's so much nicer, which is so nice. But like a lot of us who have been doing this for so long, and granted I'm only 7 years in, like actively doing hair, I'm still like scarred a little bit from people being like mean. Granted too though, I cannot be full-heartedly mean, rude either. Like I know I have my moments, like, bro, I feel so bad about the few things I did. Like, one little example. If you want another, like, bigger story, essentially, I unfortunately yelled at the receptionist I used to work with. And I think it was just pent up, like, coming up over time. It wasn't just a one-time thing. And even too, I'll give her too the benefit of we didn't get along, but even after that happened, I remember one time I was crying at the salon and she was like, what happened? Who made you cry? And I will remember that because I think it was a client. And then she was like, okay, we're not going to let them back in. But like, even though we weren't on good terms, she still like did that, which like she didn't have to. She could have just walked right by. But no, she was like, what happened? Like, maybe not what happened, but I think she was like, are you crying because of something at work? Because of a client or something? Yeah, I think it was worded like that. And she didn't have to do that. She did not have to do that. So I will give her that. Like, the thing is, you're not going to be everyone's best friend. And that's going to happen in this industry. You will meet clients who would have been your best friends if you met otherwise. Like, I can tell you for a fact, if I met Laura, the client I mentioned earlier, if me and her met out and about, like at a bar or something out here in like Ottawa where we live, or like, any case of like even like restaurants and we just ordered like the same drink at the bar or something, or if we met in any other situation, I know we would have been good friends. And I love that for us. So like, yeah, there's just some people you're gonna go along with and have that like connection with. Like, even to the fact that like now 2 TikToks ago, I don't know when this is going up TikTok wise, but 2 TikToks ago, I made a If You're in My Chair, This Is What I'll Tell You, episode 9. And that one talked about like after a breakup. So like what I'll tell you as your stylist after a breakup. And I referenced Laura in that because she gave me so much advice for my breakup that I went through a year ago, literally. So you're going to get along with some people and you just won't with others. Being double booked and fully booked is going to show you that too, because you can have salon regulars, but you're just not going to get along with them. That happened to me too a bunch. Like, I would get root touch-ups from like my bosses and like, it's a root touch-up, I can do that. But like, I remember a few times too, the client would be like, oh, like, it's not just roots though, it's a full color. And like, they would be booked in for a half hour, which to me would be only enough time to do their roots. So even if I explain, being like, oh, like, I know they can do it in the half hour, but also too, they've been doing it for like 20 plus years. I've only been doing it for like 5. So like, they just have way more experience than me. Like, I'll do your roots. And I remember too, I'd always be like, do the color a little bit on your ends of the sink, like the last 5 minutes of processing. Like, I just don't have the time to like do a full head of color right now. Like, for me, a full head of color takes like close to like a half hour of applying versus like we have a half hour to talk and then apply. Like, I don't have enough time. And like, I could tell they were frustrated, but also too, I was frustrated too. So it was just like people, if any of them are watching this, if my ex-bosses are watching this, genuinely, I try to do what I could. And also too, if you're watching this, actually, I saw one of them like saw my TikTok profile. You know how you can see that? I don't know if she knows that. And I'm trying to say this too in the nicest way possible because I'm still like in the city. Obviously, I'm still working here, not with them, but like I can still see your name in my TikTok. Like, you saw my profile. Like, okay, hi, what's up? What do you want to know? This could sound really bad in one way of saying it, but like, it's just like, literally, it's like, what do you want from me? You gave me notice. Oh, I have so many stories to talk about, but I want to talk about like being booked and busy and how that's not always the goal. Because like, when I was working at the salon after my last one, and it was like not double booked, but I was like booked enough and like busy and was decent. Had so much more of a life. I had so much more like things in my life going on. Like I said, about a year ago, I broke up with my boyfriend that my client Laura helped me with. Last summer, I was with someone else, and oh my God, in a way, he gave me back my life, which was weird to say in a way, because you think a boy or like a man would take away your time, but he really gave me my life back in a way. Like, bro, let me just sum it up. I had like no life before. And then I broke up with my boyfriend, moved salons, and like my whole world changed. It sounds dramatic, but it really did happen like that. Because of my ex Michael, and I'm gonna just say the name because I have 5 ex Michaels. Take it in. 5. Granted too, if they watch this, they'll know the timeline. But anyways, this one ex Michael, he had such a life outside of work. And honestly, it showed me I should have that too. So like, I will be forever grateful for that. This man, he worked like an extremely like labor intensive job too, like me. Arborist, I'll say it. He was an arborist. So like, he did that. And then after work would go out and play basketball, baseball, golf, like golf just with friends and stuff, but still. And yeah, like, did I say basketball? Yeah, basketball, baseball, golf. he did all that after work. And it's just like, he showed me I could have a life too. So that because of him, I re-signed up for bowling. And also too, ironically, he also got me back into reading because he was a big reader. Like, he wasn't the best guy, but he was a reader, which, yep, confirmed, did good things. But other than how he broke up with me, he was a good guy. So, like, I gotta give him that. He brought me back to life in a way. Like, it sounds corny, it sounds dramatic, it sounds weird. But this guy really showed me things I liked and things I should be doing again. Like, again, he got me back into reading. I've already read. Let me check my Goodreads. I'm going to also have everything linked down below for social media wise. But my Goodreads for this year, granted I haven't read in like 3 weeks. I just don't like this book. I read for a bit and then it's a library book. So it's like, well, I have to give it back eventually and I'll try. So yeah, this year I have already read 9 books. Yay. Which for me is good because yeah, I went from not reading at all. Well, I read as a kid. And then I stopped once I like got jobs and stuff. And then yeah, I haven't really read since then. So he got me back into reading. So like gotta give him some credits where it's due. So yeah, he got me re-sign up back for bowling. He got me to get back into reading. He got me to also even like dress like it sounds weird, it sounds bad, it sounds backwards. But like he got me to dress more like what I wanted to dress like because as you can tell too from this freaking room, I love fashion, I love clothes. And I learned, before I even learned all this, like I don't look good in ash colors, but I learned I don't look good in black. And in this industry, black is the uniform for some places, and for the most part too. But I learned, nope, not for me. I should be wearing like a navy blue instead of a black, if anything. Like a navy blue looks better on me. It's like a dark color than black does. And he liked that color too. So I bought a lot in that color because it was his favorite color, but also too I learned it looks good on me. So like you can see how even though he's not here anymore, he's not benefiting from those clothes because granted some of them was like lingerie. I'll admit that. I can still use it to my advantage. Not to my advantage. I can still use it because I learned, yeah, I don't look the best in black. I look better in like a dark blue or like a brown even. I just don't look good with black, honestly. And it's not totally new news in a way. Like with like when I would do like the Waynes, I liked doing a Wayne before, but I could tell like when I did that, my eye would just look a bit different. And I thought it was just like, oh, like it's just because I'm doing a wing. But like I already have big eyes. I don't need them any bigger. So I thought that's all it was. But yeah, learned black isn't my color. So all this to say, he brought me back in a way, and because of all that, I'm now more me. I'm now more myself. I'm wearing more color again because of him, I think, too, in a way. At least, like, you know, for me as well, with, like, style, I can be, like, girly or, like, colorful like this, and then I can be more, like, slightly edgy. Like, I have, like, some, like, lace, like, black stuff and everything like that. Or even, like, other colors, too. Like, I have, like, a brown leather jacket. I have brown, like, boots. Like I could pull like a different look, but like he got me back to this, which again sounds so weird to say. And even too, like you would think all this would not relate to hair, but it does because again, he brought me back when I was able to have a life again because I did not have a life before all that. Like my last boyfriend before him, again, not to say anything totally bad about him, about D, we'll say that for him. He wasn't a bad guy. Just, I think he's just not my person, which is so fair. But also, too, he, again, just took up all my time. There was no real benefit to him, really, unfortunately. He was a nice guy, but that's really it. And also, too, as I said to my friends and family, I'm just going to put it short like this. I think he loved my life more than he loved me. Because he said, I love you a month in. And I'm sorry, I get it in one way, I am great. And this is me being like, yeah, I'm great. I am great. But are you sure you love me a month in? And like at that time, I had a dog. I don't anymore. Unfortunately, she passed away last summer. But yeah, that's the thing too. When I got with Michael last summer, she died like a month into seeing him, and he was really good with that too. So like I looked out and like the how he was. So yeah, but anyways, D, he and I were abstinent for like 2 years, more like three if anything, but I'm saying two in case like that first whole year just I just forgot or something, you know? I'm trying to think of like vague things to say. Yeah, I had a dog at the time. I was with my ex D. So I have my house, I had a dog. I also had the house to myself basically because I was financially fine. I've only had my tenants the past like school year, and that's only because I knew I was moving salons. So part of me was like, oh, I should get a renter just in case it's not the same. Because also too, again, I knew I would not be double booking. So part of me was like, okay, I'll take the hit financially. And even too, like I was fine not being double booked. So yeah, take that too into consideration. Like you think you will be not broke, but you think you'll be more conscious of your spending and like everything. And like, yeah, you should be. But like I didn't have to be. So it's just like, oh, I can be fine and not be crazy booked up and like be double, triple booked. And just, I had one client at a time and I was fine. Everything was good. Everything was Gucci. I didn't have to worry about money really. Like I kept on track of my finances, but I wasn't tracking everything versus how I am now. So yeah, like, I also can tell you too, when I was double booked, I spent my money on stupid things. Stupid, stupid, stupid things. Like, whoa. Like, if you think what I have back here is stupid, I have stupider. Like, I will never regret concert tickets. That's one thing I'll never regret. I will never regret, like, some makeup choices because, I like trying that stuff out. But I remember now throwing out so much clothes I did not wear. I would just buy shit and never wear it. Versus now I actually think about it. Like, I had a gift card for Marshalls and Winners and like all that. I strategically thought of when I was going through that store, like what I would actually wear. Like I got a yellow top. Like I got this cute yellow top. It has like little like designs on it, like seashells and stuff. I'm just gonna put it on the ground actually because I didn't like the black bar on the front of that shirt there I have. Anyways, I gasped I gasped when I saw that shirt, and that was the only thing in the store that did that for me. And I could instantly think of, oh, I can wear this with jeans, I can wear this with a skirt. Excuse me. I can wear this with like jeans, a skirt. I can wear this with like some like pants I have down here. Denim shorts too in the summertime. I was like, if I can actively think of outfits with the item, then I will buy it. Versus, yeah, before I really wouldn't think like that. I would just be like, ooh, cute shirt. I'm going to buy it. And I wouldn't even gasp at it. Like, I want to love what I bring in now. So, like, I know I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. Like, this top from Aerie, I can't tell you how many times I've worn it. But I've worn it so much, even though there's some color stains on it, because I love it. It's so cute. And I definitely got my money's worth. I think I spent like at max like $20 on this top. And I've had it now for like 2 years at minimum. And like I said, even though there's a color stain on it that I didn't get out right away, I'm still wearing it. I'm still loving it. Same thing too with this zip up from Aritzia. Granted too, it is gray. And I know I don't look the best in gray, but I think if I complement it with like things that do look good on me, especially too in the sense where it's like it was a more expensive item. But this Aritzia waffle knits zip up thingy, my friend Danny wore this to work. She was assisting at my second last hair salon, and she did my hair last. She's now a licensed hairstylist. But yeah, she wore this to work one day. And I was just like, oh my God, cute. I love that. Where'd you get it? And she was just like, oh, it's Aritzia. And I was like, I did not know they made zip ups. Yeah, TNA. And yeah, because of Danny, I bought this. She's like one of my influencers. But granted, she is really popping off. So good for you, girl. I don't know. I mean, I could see Danny watching this. We've been friends for a while now. Like, we worked together 2 times now at 2 different hair salons. And yeah, I could see her watching this. She's a true homie. But yeah, I think I'm going to end this here. So yeah, I hope just all this really gives people a look inside if you're not a hairstylist. And if you are a hairstylist, I hope this kind of just shows like being busy, being booked and busy isn't always good and isn't always the goal. Like, I think just being consistent and just being content is enough. We're all primed to want to be hustling. But thank you for being here. Thank you for listening/watching. If you're cleaning up right now, I would love it if you came to the TV or laptop and just say bye. I love you, and I will love to see you on my next episode. Have a good rest of your day.